G'day, I'm Steve Irwin, and on this adventure, I'm going to take you into shark territory, right outside the cage.
There's over 370 species of sharks worldwide, and we've got about 166 species right here in Australia. And in this tank, there's about 14. Let's go and have a look.
All of these sharks are on display at Underwater World Aquarium on the Sunshine Coast just north of Brisbane. It's a great opportunity for me to get used to these large predators in a semi-controlled condition. I'm learning about their behaviour and what they're likely to do in a lot of different situations. It's the perfect place for experience before facing them in the open ocean.
While these sharks are all well fed, they're still natural predators, and there's no telling exactly what they'll do next, even under these controlled conditions. The sharks here are extremely well adjusted to captivity. They're healthy, and their behavior is almost the same as it would be in their natural environment. And all those other fish? Well, most of the time they're just fine, but every now and then a shark will lash out and grab one as a passing snack. As we said, they're still predators.
Oh, I better watch out where I step. There's wobbegongs all over the place. Have a look at this one. This wobbegong is really cute, and it's actually gravid. It's got a belly full of eggs right in here. You can see its gills. Woo! Look at the way it breathes. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see why wobbegongs are my absolute favourite species.
We're making a trip into the Coral Sea to one of our favorite reefs. It's a great spot, especially for us since it's home for some of our favorite underwater friends.
Here's one of the thickest concentrations of wobbegongs I've ever seen. I've got three very special ones: Wendy, Clark and Dan. Wendy's pregnant at the moment. Let's go and have a look at them. Once you know where wobbegongs live, you can come back years later and they'll still be there, almost on the same patch of reef where you last saw them. Here's Clark. He's a boisterous male and quite a good solid bloke at that. You can see the size of his belly. He's had a big feed of crayfish through the night.
The female wobbegong will carry her eggs around inside her body until they're ready to hatch. They break out of their shells inside their mother, and the wobbegong gives birth to a litter of live shark pups. The female could have as many as 35 to 40 eggs inside her, and when the babies emerge into the outside world, they'll be 8 inches long, able to swim, and ready to hunt.
Come and have a look at this. I find wobbegongs a very placid shark. In fact, I feel confident enough to reach into their hiding place and give them a bit of a pat. This is a great demonstration of just how quiet they are. Please never try this, as wobbegongs do bite, particularly if they feel fear or they're threatened or you make the mistake of putting your hand too close. I'm going to demonstrate this to you with a dead fish. If you can imagine, they strike so fast, whoa, how's that you can't even see it. Watch how powerful their jaws are. In a few gulps, the fish disappears.
Right below me is a tasseled wobbegong. You wouldn't know it, they're the masters of camouflage, probably the best out of all the shark species.
And when they glide across the floor of the ocean, it's like the flying carpet.
The tasseled wobbegong lives in tropical waters from Australia right up to Papua New Guinea, where it's got a really dangerous reputation. But like all wobbegongs, it will leave you alone unless you provoke it. However, provoking can mean walking around the reef flat until you stand on one, and they're so well camouflaged that you won't notice a thing until you're right on top of him.
That is, unless you take food into a wobbegong's home. That has an immediate effect. Their normal, calm, placid nature goes into food mode, and they start hunting in an instant. Absolutely anything becomes food. They'll wham, 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 bite around at anything that looks like a dead fish. Whack! How's that? They are quick, accurate, and hard-hitting. They got a multiple layer of teeth, and they can tear things apart in a heartbeat. Woo! Look at these little ones ripping and tearing. It's almost like a crocodile death roll. These are only juveniles, but once they latch onto this fish carcass, they just spin, 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 tearing bits of food right off and swallowing it down. Come on, mate. Whack! How's the teeth on them? Wobbegongs should never be underestimated. They've got dagger-like teeth, and they're sharp enough to rip through the thickest of carcasses. All the smell of food starts to draw in the moray. And here's another animal that's got razor-sharp teeth, the moray eel.
The standard hunting pattern is the ambush. A wobbegong sits dead still and waits. Then whammo, it leaps and snaps. Wobbegongs normally live really predictable lives. They like to spend their days lying around on the bottom, looking just like a rock or coral or seaweed, and at night they emerge to hunt.
Sea urchins share the wobbegong territory, and they've got protective spines so the wobbegongs can't feed on them. It's amazing, but some sharks actually manage to eat them as a part of their everyday diet. After so long in the water with the wobbies, I felt I had a pretty good idea of how they would react if I got really close. But I was wrong. He's trying to back away from me, and stupidly, I reach in and... he bit me! Check this out. Wobbegong just grabbed me. Stupid mistake. Grabbed him by the tail and tried to pull him out from under the rock. He just bit hold of my hand. Lucky enough he let go. Oh. Underwater World is a brilliant aquarium where you can get close to some spectacular Australian sharks. They've also got a world-class shark breeding program, and they release hundreds of little baby sharks back out into the wild where they belong.
In the wild, baby sharks or even shark eggs would have to take their chances in a ruthless world of hunters and the hunted. But in the laboratory, they get a running start at life with people like Rod Garner, making sure their first days are in perfect conditions. These funny-looking lumps are actually shark eggs. They're known as nuts, and inside the shell, we can see a baby shark just waiting for the right moment to hatch. In the sea, they're perfectly camouflaged to look like a lump of coral or rock covered in algae or weed. A nickname for a shark's egg is a mermaid's purse, probably because of the leathery skin that makes up the shell.
Oh, what a moment. Baby sharks breaking out of their egg. Aren't they the cutest little things you've ever seen? Gorgeous. Those eggs have got dendrils on each corner, so when the mother lays them, she brushes up against a rock or coral and they stay attached until it's time to break free.
These little baby banded bamboo sharks are also commonly known as cat sharks. When they're little, they're obviously banded, but when they're fully grown, they'll turn a brownish gray like their parent we saw in the main tank a bit earlier.